I'm answering natural fertility questions today. So let's jump into today's question, which is about breastfeeding and trying to conceive. So I got two different questions. First is, I just finished breastfeeding and want to prepare to try to conceive in the near future. What do you recommend? Second question is, I have used herbal supplements before for hormone balancing. I'm 2 years postpartum and still nursing my 2-year-old. I'm 42 years old. What products can I take to help balance hormones while I'm continuing to breastfeed? So these are great questions, and we get so many of these. I wanted to address this today very specifically. So there's going to be a different answer for someone who is currently breastfeeding and someone who has stopped breastfeeding. There is a specific reason for this. So if you are currently breastfeeding, there's not a whole lot of specific herbs that I would suggest that can have an effect on hormonal balance within the body. When you're breastfeeding, prolactin needs to be high so that you can lactate. One of the side effects of high prolactin is that you aren't going to ovulate. This is part of how we're designed, so that we're not becoming pregnant while we're breastfeeding. Now, it doesn't, people become pregnant when they're breastfeeding and continue to ovulate, but a lot of women won't. Your period will be gone and missing until you stop breastfeeding, as well as could ovulation. So it either kind of has to be one phase or the other. Now, if you are currently breastfeeding, there are some things you can do, but it's very nutrition focused is what I would suggest. So making sure that your diet has enough essential fatty acids, you're eating a plant-based diet, or majority of the foods that you're eating are plant-based, whole food, minimally processed. Maybe you do 80-20 or 90-10 when it comes to how much processed food that you're consuming. And that's something that generally a lot of women are already doing while they're breastfeeding, because breastfeeding is so nutritionally demanding on the body. There are herbs such as Vitex, you might hear, or maca, or these different herbs that you would use for hormonal balance, and I generally don't suggest them while someone's breastfeeding. Vitex has a specific effect on the amount on prolactin and reducing that within the body. So you definitely wouldn't want to be taking Vitex unless you're ready to wean and you're ready for your milk supply to possibly be affected. So that's kind of where I'm at when someone is breastfeeding, is in one phase or the other, but you can do things such as nutrition. You can do things such as wound care castor oil packs and help to support the uterus through increasing circulation and things like that. Now, if you just stopped breastfeeding, you're no longer needing to lactate, then you can do any program as anybody would, and you can use hormonal balancing herbs. You can use herbs to help to support egg health. You can use things to increase circulation in the uterus, all of these things that you can cleanse, all these things that I am a big proponent of when you're preparing for conception, you can do if you're not breastfeeding. Now, if you're breastfeeding, I don't suggest cleansing. That's one of the first steps that we have in our pregnancy preparation checklist, which I'll put a link. You can download that below. It has a checklist of everything you want to do to prepare for conception for the first 90 days. That's what I would suggest to someone who just stopped breastfeeding and is now ready to prepare for conception. If you're breastfeeding, you don't want to cleanse. You don't want what your body's detoxifying to be circulating through your blood and so on. So I think you get the point. When it comes to breastfeeding and wanting to prepare the body as much as you can, focus on eating, especially this question had, I'm 42. So anytime you're over 35, definitely have elements that are looking to protect egg health. So a high antioxidant diet. There are antioxidant supplements such as Fertility choice antioxidants you might want to look into. When it comes to antioxidants, amino acids, those types of things are generally okay when you're breastfeeding. Of course, get the okay from your doctor, but when it comes to herbs, a lot of those are going to have effect on hormones, which would affect your ability to breastfeed. So I hope you found this answer to be helpful in understanding what approach to take when you're breastfeeding or when you just stopped breastfeeding. If you have any questions, please visit us at naturalfertilityshop.com. We can further elaborate and help to support you. Have a great day.